Hello, my amazing artists. All right, ready? I am capable. I am smart. I can find weird things and make amazing art. Okay, so what we're gonna need for this week for kindergarten is you are going to need permanent marker, foil, washable Crayola markers, and a piece of paper. The thicker the paper, the better. So if you have construction paper, that's gonna work the best. And then for first grade, what we need is a piece of paper, some paint, tempera paint if you have it, and any color's fine. We're gonna use black, a paintbrush, and then something to color with. It doesn't really matter whatever you have at your house, markers, crayons. We're using oil pastels, but whatever you need is fine, okay? Okay, boys and girls, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna need our paper. I'm just using a half sheet because my foil pieces are small. If you have big foil, you can use a regular sheet too. We're going to start with our permanent marker and our piece of paper, and we're gonna draw a cake, all right? And this just isn't just any cake. This is your graduation cake because you guys are about to graduate from kindergarten and be in first grade. So with your finger, find the middle of your paper, then go up just a little bit. Make a little dot there. It doesn't need to be very big, just a guiding dot. Find the middle of the bottom and go up just a little bit and make another dot. Make sure you leave some space down here, okay? And feel free to pause this at any time if you need to catch up. And then we're gonna make a straight line from one dot to the other. And then at the top, we're gonna do two diagonals that go down kind of like an arrow. And then again at the bottom. Then we're gonna connect the bottom of this diagonal down to this one with a line, and same thing on that side, okay? Then with your fingers, go back to that first dot we made at the top, and then I want you to go out almost to the sides of your paper, but not all the way, and make two dots. These are also guiding dots, so they don't need to be big. Then we're gonna start on this dot, and we're gonna go to this dot with a rainbow curve, so they are not touching. Start at the bottom of this diagonal and make a curve up to that dot, and then bottom of this diagonal and a curve up to this dot. So it's kind of have like a lemon shape or a football shape up here. Mine's kind of off a little, but that's okay. And I'm gonna start where I made this dot before, and I'm gonna come straight down, but I'm not gonna come all the way down. I'm gonna stop before I get all the way down here, okay? And this is a permanent marker you can erase, so make sure you're listening. Same thing on this side. You're gonna go straight down, but you're gonna stop about the same. We want these side lines shorter. Then you're gonna start at the bottom of this diagonal and curve up to that straight line. Same thing over here. And now you have, kind of still looks like a piece of cheese, doesn't it? Okay, now we're gonna add some details to make it look more like a cake, okay? So sometimes when you eat a cake and you cut through the middle of it, there's a layer of icing. We're gonna add some icing in ours. So start on this middle line and diagonal down on both sides, just like we did up here and down here. And then another diagonal line either above it or below it, doesn't matter. And then there is your icing layer right there. Now we're gonna add some icing to the top of our cake too. So around this rainbow curve, we're gonna do a loopy line, which is just making circles and moving. Watch me first. I'm gonna go right on top of that curve. And then you're gonna do it on these curves right here, but not right here because we ate that piece. And right here. And then we're also gonna do them on the bottom, okay? Down here. And then what is a cake if you don't have sprinkles, right? So let's add some sprinkles to our cake. So up here on the top, you're gonna do little sprinkles, and all sprinkles are little lines. They're not big lines. They're not pieces of grass or hair. They're just little lines on the top of our cake. And if you're feeling real crazy, you can add some sprinkles in here to this icing too, because that would make it really fun. And now you have your cake. So we are not gonna color it today with markers, even though you have markers. We're gonna do something really fun and exciting, actually. So what you're going to do is you're gonna get a piece of foil, and then you're going to get your washable markers, not permanent. We wanna make sure they're washable markers, okay? And you are gonna color your piece of foil. You can do whatever you want on it. You can color it one color, you could do stripes, however you want to. And it's not gonna look perfect when you color it, okay? it's gonna show up kind of weird. Some different foils, some of it moves around the color. It doesn't really matter as long as it's colored and you use bright colors. So this is what our cake's gonna look like when we're done. So make sure you decorate your foil the same way you would want your cake decorated. I'm gonna do stripes on mine. Isn't that cool? Oh yeah, isn't that cool? I'm doing mine really fast. You can take your time. I'm just kind of going quickly to show you what we're doing. Okay, and let's see, where's my cake? My cake is a little bit bigger than that, so I'm gonna do it a little bit more over here on the side. I'm gonna add some purple on this. I'm just gonna kind of go quick. Maybe some down here. Okay, now when you're done coloring your foil, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your cake and you're gonna get it a little bit wet. Now what you could do is you could just get your hand wet and rub it on here, or if you have a spray bottle, you can just give it a few sprays. We just want it damp. We don't want it soaking wet, okay? So now my paper is damp. I'm gonna kind of make sure the whole thing is damp. And we use permanent marker, so the permanent marker will not move once your paper's wet. It'll stay exactly like it is. And then I'm gonna lay my foil down. I'm gonna take my cake and I'm gonna put it right on top of my foil and I'm gonna rub it, and then that marker will print, which means it will move from the foil to your cake, and you will have a really cool rainbow cake. What do you think about that? Isn't that cool? Now, I got my paper a little bit too wet. That's why the color's bled a little bit too much over here. So make sure your paper is not too wet like mine. And you will have a confetti cake. And then when you're finished, let it dry. And you can cut it out if you want to. And happy graduation.